Hi, welcome to the new Well Grounded. I'm Jeff Swanson, your host, and this is our show for the Garden Club. We're in October. What do we do at the end of October? Halloween. I am a pumpkin fanatic. And I don't mean that I love pumpkin. I hate the taste of it. I don't like it at all. But I like growing them. I like carving them. And I like my daughter's face when we're gathering them. We like to go to a pumpkin patch. Usually we'll pick out about 150 pounds worth of pumpkins. They go home, and then we start to decide how we're going to display them around the front of our house. My wife is very into fall. The leaves coming down. I think it's because of her love of the movie When Harry Met Sally.
There's too much pepper
on my paprikash,
but I would be proud to partake of your pecan pie.
Those of you that know me and are around me and probably have listened to me know I like to eat. I like seafood in particular. I see food, I eat it. Dad humor, sorry. But one of the snacks I really like to make a lot is a candy corn nut mix. And I'm very particular about this mix. I like to take 1 bag of candy corn to 1/2 can of Beer Nuts peanuts. The reason I use beer nuts is because they have on the outside a sugary coating. But I will warn you, those of you that have ever overate candy corn and you get that, oh, I had way too many candy corn feeling, it does the same thing. I was watching a movie with my wife and I ate an entire bowl. I'm not proud of that, by the way, but I will throw that out there. So let's talk about your garden. We're here in the fall. We're at a point now to where the garden's pretty much done. This is the time that I usually go ahead and cut everything out of my garden. I like to cut everything and leave about 2.5 to 3 inches above the ground, but I don't want all that other stuff, the other stuff that's dead on top. That is not where I want to be. Number one, it takes forever in the spring to get all of that to go where I want it to go in my soil. And honestly, in my home garden, I don't have a big tractor that I can just boom, jump into, and I've got a big disc and grind everything up. No, it's all me. So it's gonna be me with a shovel sitting there pounding everything out. So what I do is I remove it. I take it, I'm gonna take all of my plants that are now dead, and I'm gonna put them in a pile in the corner of my yard. Jeff, why would you pile them in the corner of your yard? The reason that I do that is I want it to continue to dry out and continue to break down. And once that completely is dry and broken, I'm gonna come in there with a machete and I'm gonna start cutting that stuff down. I'm gonna start cutting it up to where it's in much smaller pieces. And again, I'm gonna leave it. The idea is that this spring, I will use some of that in my composting and when I'm getting everything ready to plant. But again, I don't want the added work in my garden. So leave your stalks about this tall, remove everything else. I don't do anything else to the soil. I let the garden sit now. I don't know if any of you use a trellis for your cucumbers, but I'll remove all of that stuff and I put it into my little garden shed. That's just it, is I want everything clean when I put it away. And with the garden now, that's where I'm gonna throw my pumpkins when they go bad. I told you earlier, I like to get pumpkins for Halloween. I like over 100 pounds of pumpkins, but after Halloween, I don't want them around. I'm done with them. The squirrels have eaten their holes in them, which by the way, here's a little tidbit for you if you didn't know this. Squirrels eat your pumpkins because it's like alcohol for them. So if you've got a pumpkin that's starting to disintegrate, oh boy, that is like a fine wine to squirrels, and they will. They'll come by and start eating on that, and you'll notice you have squirrels that are a little wobbly. So I take those pumpkins and I get them off my porch and I throw them in my garden, and I let them just rot back there in the garden. If you don't like the look of them, fine, bury them. But They work great in the garden. They'll break down. That pumpkin skin will go away and it'll do exactly as nature intended it. Just remember that all your fruits and vegetables, that's the way nature plants seeds. So you throw that pumpkin in there, it disintegrates in your garden, the seeds are going to grow. And you may have pumpkins next year. I still have volunteer pumpkins come up every year from when I'm throwing them in my garden. Another piece I want to talk about is the rest of your yard. Like if you're like me, you have a lot of big trees. This is the time of year where you have a few leaves in your yard and then the next day it's covered. That happens to me every year. And then I clean them all up and we get a big windstorm come through and suddenly I have all of my neighbors' leaves in my yard and I'm cleaning up again. This is a good time of year when you're getting your leaves to mulch. Go ahead and mulch, and then I like to use a nice winter, kind of a nice feed fertilizer to get things going for next spring. Your soil, even though it's going to freeze and it's going to get cold, that's okay. The fertilizer will break down, do its thing in there, and it's just waiting. Basically like a time bomb. It's waiting in there for spring, the de-thaw, and then it'll kick in. It'll give you a nice lawn to start out with. While I do that, I'm also trimming my yard. I have a lot of hostas. I have a lot of coleus that grows around my house. I have, and I love growing them, but the sweet potato vines, I cut all of that out and I throw it in that pile with my garden debris. I told you about in the corner of the yard. Because I don't want that all sitting and just looking crummy. At our first freeze, all of it's going to die. So I don't want that out there. I go ahead and cut it out now. I rake up the beds. And I'm one of the few people that mulches in the later fall. So I'll put down a little bit of mulch, just to have a nice cover for the winter, and it doesn't look so barren. I have, I would say, a pretty eclectic music taste. I like about everything. I have an album collection of about 1,800 albums. And someday I'll tell you the story of how I came across a lot of those. But one of the new artists that I really like her name is Leve. The best way that I could describe her music, which by the way, I don't have on an album, I have to listen to her digitally, but it's almost like a bossa nova style of music. So it's kind of rumba.
The skyscrapers causing vertigo. The countdown begins in Tokyo. 27 days alone means 20 million ways to cope with that.
Well, that was fun. I know I had a good time, and I'm pretty sure you all did getting to watch all of that. But, you know, that's the one thing I love about gardening is that, and I say gardening, and I use that term very, very general. One thing I love about our show, our club, is just the joy that it brings. As we do head into finishing off October and starting November, my mind is switching toward Thanksgiving. And one thing I will tell you I love about Thanksgiving is not the food. I do love the food, but it's not that. It's not the turkey dinner with the family. It's not any of that. It's spending the time together. It's being with your family. It's being with your loved ones. It's being with maybe the people you work with or friends that you have. And at the end of the day, Thanksgiving to me is being thankful for those relationships and thankful for all the things I have in my life, be it my friends, my coworkers, my family, but also me, my joy, my drive. So I'm very thankful for all of you. And until next time, keep it green.